Road closures, delays, extra costs, it's all in the past. Now, a bridge to the future promises growth and change for generations to come.
South Texas, the coastal bend, is open for business.
From ribbon-cutting details to economic impacts, find out how the new Harbor Bridge will affect you. Your KRIS 6 News F5 starts right now. Well, good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Clara Benitez Cortez. It's been delayed, it's been scrutinized, but after 9 years of construction, a new era for the Coastal Bend begins tomorrow. The opening of the new Harbor Bridge is only hours away. And we are joined by neighborhood news reporter Alexis Scott, who has the details on Saturday's spectacle. Alexis, what can you tell us?
Clara, like you said, after 9 long years, the grand opening of the new Harbor Bridge is finally here. And from what many people are telling me, they are excited to finally use it during their daily commute. But they're also asking, when will it actually be open and what's happening with the old bridge? So let me tell you, southbound lanes on the new bridge will open this weekend. Northbound lanes will open next month. And as for the old bridge, it will stay open only in one direction from Corpus Christi to North Beach until the end of July. That's for drivers and neighbors using the pedestrian walkway. And this is so crews can actually complete the US 181 alignment for the new bridge on North Beach. Now, the old bridge will fully close in August, and the main span over the ship channel will be lowered this fall. Now that the new bridge is actually opening, it seems like everything is moving fairly quickly. So we're looking to see what happens next. Live at the Port of Corpus Christi near the Bay Area, I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Alexis Scott, KRIS 6 News.
All right, Alexis, that bridge looks really good behind you. And it's big, it's bold, and it's about to boost our economy. The new Harbor Bridge is a gateway to growth, opportunity, and more commerce for South Texas. One of the biggest winners, the Port of Corpus Christi. The new bridge stands more than 200 feet tall enough to welcome massive ships carrying more cargo than ever before. Faster shipping, more trade, and a stronger spot in the global economy.
Even if the operations increase by 5%, which is a very conservative measure, we can see about $1 billion increase due to new bridge.
Now, another industry we could see more of near the port, cruise ships. Neighborhood news reporter Victoria Valderrama has a story on how Corpus Christi is finding the missing piece to that puzzle.
I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Victoria Valderrama. The new Harbor Bridge is painting a bright picture for the future of travel tourism in the Coastal Bend. Someday soon, cruise ships could come through here.
And I want everybody to be able to get on a cruise ship in Corpus Christi, Texas, and the Coastal Bend.
Those are the words of State Representative Todd Hunter.
Let's get this place moving, and I think the pieces of the puzzle all come together.
The main piece to that puzzle.
You take that Harbor Bridge, the old one, down. We now have the big one. You can now bring in big ships and the cruise ships. And we already passed laws previously to allow the cruise ship industry to start focusing on the Coastal Bend.
And the infrastructure for big ships is now in place.
We've deepened the channel from 47 feet to 54 feet for about 30 miles of that channel. And we've also widened it to 530 feet.
Ken Britton, CEO for the Port of Corpus Christi, says this deeper depth could cast a wide net for more opportunities.
I think we'll be able to now receive deeper ships than we would have been able to previously.
That sounds like endless potential to Hunter.
And generally, this sets up where you get travel tourism. It would revitalize downtown, and think about it, it'll also bring emphasis to the airport for air travel.
There's high hopes this could become a reality. A quick Google search and I can tell you the nearest cruise ship port in Texas is over 4 hours away in Galveston. And for our friends in McAllen, that's a 6-hour car ride. Reporting in Corpus Christi, I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Victoria Valderrama for KRIS 6 News.
All right, Vicki, thank you. And we want to remind you that this Saturday morning, we will have special coverage of the ribbon cutting for the new Harbor Bridge. We'll be streaming on our website and right here on KRIS TV. Our coverage begins again Saturday at 9:30 in the morning. and everyone is ready for the new bridge to be unveiled. But there's still one big question. Will the weather cooperate for the big day? Lucky for us, meteorologist Stephanie Lauber is standing by with those answers. So Stephanie, what can you tell us? We're going to be outside, me and Andy.
Yeah, this has been the million-dollar question. Don't worry, I think I got you guys covered. I think that forecast is looking more favorable for everyone to enjoy the event because it's here, finally, long awaited. And we've enjoyed beautiful views here from the Whataburger Field camera out here. We like to call it the Whata Sky Cam. And I think what you're seeing right now is probably pretty similar to what we'll be seeing during the ceremony tomorrow. Maybe a few of those fluffy white cumulus clouds look like cotton balls out there, but not a whole lot of rain. And I'll explain why I think the forecast is going to be more in our favor coming up in your full forecast. Are some new changes to be aware of, and we might even see a little more haze in the sky because of it, but no change to the heat. It's still going to be very hot out there as it is right now. We haven't recovered much, even though that sun is starting to get lower in the sky. Temperatures still in the 90s for a lot of neighborhoods and feeling closer to the triple digits right now once you factor in the humidity riding in on that predominant wind from the southeast. So this is where we're at now. What does the rest of your Friday evening look like, and what about that bridge forecast coming up?
Now to a follow-up on a 6 Investigate story, there was a major reversal today from the Corpus Christi Housing Authority Board, who voted to block several tax-exempt deals with private developers as part of a controversial $350 million House initiative. This comes after City Council declared the workforce housing deals as, quote, apparently illegal on Tuesday. The program was designed to create workforce housing, but critics say it primarily helped developers avoid paying taxes with little oversight.
Your real estate transactions sold your tax exemptions and harmed all of your local tax entities in a manner greatly disproportionate to any public benefit received.
The board also approved a shift towards more public control, including rent vouchers for middle-income families, a housing partnership with Habitat for Humanity, and a city-led study to better target local needs.
Having a baby is expensive, so I've heard, but it's even more expensive now. I'm Michaela Chavez on the South Side. I'll tell you why world politics is hitting home for many parents of newborns.
You're watching Chris 6, part of the Scripps News Group.
All parents of a newborn consider their bundle of joy a treasure. In the near future, that treasure could cost parents a bundle. I'm Michaela Chavez, your Sunrise Neighborhood News reporter on the South Side. Some baby gear is going up by a hefty sum, and that's not baby talk. Think of some common baby equipment new parents buy. Maybe it's a car seat, crib, high chair, or a baby monitor. Reports show since April, the cost of some baby items have gone up nearly 25%. The reason for the price hike? They're made in China.
Whether it's clothing or equipment items or toys, it all costs. And when the prices go up, and your wallet's gonna feel it.
Pam Vera is the store owner of Once Upon a Child, a children's resale shop that sells new and gently used items.
If you're needing that value product, you're gonna save money by shopping here.
Vera is also a mom, and she knows one thing's for certain.
That definitely can be super expensive.
Once Upon a Child also buys items families might not need anymore so they can earn a quick buck. Last year, the resale shop bought 25,000 items and gave more than $300,000 back to the community.
We do check everything for safety recall. We make sure everything is still good in good working order.
Vera tells me her store does not sell used cribs or car seats, but the store does sell new ones.
There's definitely an increase. When equipment comes in, we check pricing so that we can base our pricing off of that. We try to price it half of current retail to sell in the store.
Yet she says the shop is already feeling the effects of the tariffs.
I do sell some new items as well, and I've already gotten price increases from my vendors from the tariffs. So we're experiencing it, on both ends.
She tells me prices on used items in her store, already at about half the price of those at some other stores, will not go up. And while you may not find big ticket baby gear here for cheap, you can save on clothes, toys, and other essentials, allowing more in your budget for the bigger stuff.
We'd love for you to come in, experience the store, learn about us. We can definitely try to help you out.
Executive Director of the Juvenile Products Manufacturers Association, Lisa Trofe, says that if there is not immediate tariff relief, then American families will continue to feel the financial burden to meet their child's basic needs. On the South Side, I'm your Sunrise Neighborhood News reporter, Michaela Chavez, Chris 6 Sunrise.
Michaela, thank you. Now let's shift gears and take a look at our live traffic report. Steph, how's it looking out there?
Glad we have some busy spots this afternoon. So here's the view over SPID. Always have some activity around this time on SPID as folks try to get home. 5:11 your time right now. So yes, it is the witching hour out here. But let's take a look at how the roadways are doing. Not too bad around downtown. That interchange to 37 from the crosstown is looking a bit busy, as is Shoreline right now. SPID not doing too bad, up by 37. Around town, the busiest spot I think is going to be on Staples between SPID and Saratoga, looking a little busier than usual, and that's throughout that entire stretch. Rockville doesn't look too bad for this time of the afternoon, and as we head toward the Bluff, we're looking pretty good out this way. So as you head out, make sure you stay safe and you drive safe. Stick around. Your forecast is next. Hey there, good afternoon to you. I'm meteorologist Stephanie Lauber, and the radar's been hit or miss this week. A lot of the rain we've seen on the radar has been focused in our northern neighborhoods, and for Falfurrias, they've kind of been the winner in our more southern and inland neighborhoods, but not as much activity today. A lot of it has been locked up in Victoria, with one thunderstorm there lasting over an hour for the last big one we saw. But overall, it's been a fairly dry day in comparison for us, even as that activity has been kind of skewed to the north. Even that's starting to wrap up at this hour, so I'm not anticipating much interruption for the Friday night plans. That's great if you had anything in mind that involved the outdoors. And speaking of outdoors, you might want to wait a little bit. It's still very hot out there. We've got temperatures near 90 degrees across most neighborhoods. We even have some upper 90s for inland neighborhoods like George West, sitting at 96 degrees, feeling like 100. But you don't have to be that far inland or quite that hot by the thermometer to feel that hot. Out along the coast, we're sitting at 88 degrees in the Bluff. Naval Air Station Corpus Christi reporting a feels like temperature of 98 degrees. So as we think about those weekend plans, think about how to stay hydrated too. And of course, wear that SPF 30 or better, because we are going to have a good deal of sunshine, at least for the first half of the weekend. I'll explain in a moment. But taking a closer look with the Chris 6 Neighborhood Weather Network on the south side, temperatures, yep, pretty close to 90 across the board here. One of the cooler spots, San Benito Drive, kind of by a little lake there, so that might be what's helping us out. But in general, the humidity does have a chokehold on us as these temperatures sit a couple of degrees hotter than where we typically see them for this time of the year. But a slight change is coming to the forecast just in time for the weekend and tomorrow's big day with the Harbor Bridge opening. Saharan dust is moving into the mix. We actually have slightly drier air today in comparison to yesterday, and the dust isn't truly here yet, but it looks to arrive as we head on into tomorrow around the midday. And so depending on the exact timing of that, if it arrives a little earlier, things look better for our Harbor Bridge opening ceremony, because we'll be drier, less chance of rain. But depending on the timing of that, rain chances are either way still looking fairly slim. They'll pick back up for Sunday, and then I'm watching for next week, because that's when that plume will really start to settle into coastal Texas and will likely flatten out our rain chances for the second half of next week. As far as moisture goes upstairs in the atmosphere, we've been tracking a lot of the blue on the map here for some upper level moisture. I'm really not seeing much of that either. But if we take a wider view down in the Bay of Campeche, we do see some moisture. Tropical in nature, and that is where the National Hurricane Center is focusing their attention. Batch of thunderstorms on the Yucatan Peninsula is catching their attention. It has a low chance of development over the next 7 days, so not really a concern as of now, but something we're watching. In case you were curious, the next name on the list, yep, we've already got one taken off the list with the storm earlier this week. Barry would be the next named storm, but again, that's really getting ahead of ourselves. Just an area that the National Hurricane Center is keeping an eye on. Nothing developed at this time or looking to anytime soon. Over the next 7 days here locally, like I said, we're going to take a break from the rainfall, I think, tomorrow. Really just very, very spotty in nature. We should be okay. Hazy sky is going to be the dominant part of the forecast, and the rain picks up as we head into the beginning of next week.
All right, thank you, Steph. And as you mentioned, it's hot out there, and that's why TexU Energy and Mission 911 teamed up today to provide neighbors some relief. Volunteers were out early this morning on the city's west side, giving out 350 box fans to families in need. The fans were purchased at HEB through TechXU's Beat the Heat program.
We do whatever we can to make sure people stay cool and stay safe during the summer months. Our Beat the Heat program has been around for more than 25 years. So just being in the communities, being intentional about helping others and making sure they know how to stay safe and cool during the summer days.
And it's really grateful that everybody's being good to us and not being united.
I love that. The Free Store and Kona Ice were also at the event cooling neighbors off. Well, coming up, the weekend is here, but what are your plans? If you're looking to fill your itinerary, we've got you covered on Coastal Bend Weekend.
Now, the local events and fun things to do. It's Coastal Bend Weekend with the Hoffmans.
How about I take a stab at it?
Well, you might just get the chills watching this week's Coastal Bend Weekend, but it's the thrill of all the different events happening in your neighborhood that might just make you scream.
With joy, of course, folks. Now let's kick things off in your neighborhood on the south side at the Wild Wolf Halloween store.
They're throwing a summer ween bash, and you're invited. Expect local vendors, tasty bites, live music, and spooky shopping that'll give you pumpkin to talk about.
In costumes, of course, you can dress up yourself, your kids, even your pets at this family-friendly Fright Fest. It's happening Saturday from 3 to 9 p.m.
If you'd rather boogie than say boo, you can head to the Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 2932 in Aransas Pass.
Expect a high-energy dance fundraiser to support local high school scholarships.
Starting Saturday at 7 p.m., you can shake a leg for a good cause.
Tickets for kids 12 and under are free. Teens are $7, adults $10, and couples $15.
Also in Aransas Pass, the third annual Jack Payne Waterfront Blues Festival is hitting all the right notes.
Enjoy 12 hours of live blues starting Saturday at 11 a.m. at 518 Bigelow Street.
The event honors the late John Tarver Payne, a beloved local musician who died from cancer in 2023.
Funds raised also goes to the Jack Payne Scholarship Fund. This year, the money will benefit Del Mar College's music department.
It's not Father's Day weekend, but who needs an excuse to celebrate dads who bring that grill power? Hint, hint.
Phil De La Garza, a case manager at Education Service Center 2, is hosting Dynamite Dads, a family event designed to spark connection and fun.
There'll be games, activities, and plenty of food. The barbecue cook-off will serve up Dad's favorites. That's fajitas, chicken thighs, and of course, wings.
It's happening Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Antonio E. Garcia Art and Education Center.
Since June is National Cancer Survivors Month, the Corpus Christi Hooks are teaming up with the American Cancer Society to raise awareness for breast cancer by bringing you Pink in the Park.
The game is Sunday at 5 p.m. and the first 1,000 ladies through the gates will receive a pink clutch, courtesy of Auto Nation. Of course, it's at Whataburger Field.
And June is also Pride Month, and to add even more color to your Coastal Bend weekend, the Coastal Bend Pride Center is hosting its third annual Rainbow Run Walk 5K.
Celebrate Pride with a Stride this Saturday at 7 a.m. in Cole Park. Check-in starts at 6 a.m. and the race kicks off bright and early at 7.
Participants are encouraged to wear their most fabulous rainbow attire and show support for Pride Month.
But of course, folks, no matter what you choose to wear, just make sure you have some fun this Coastal Bend weekend. And if you want to see all the details of the events we mentioned, some we didn't have time for, make sure you go to our website, christv.com.
And hey, if you have your own event you think belongs on Coastal Bend Weekend, maybe you just shoot us an email, give us a call. We'll put it on next week's Coastal Bend Weekend. For this week's Coastal Bend Weekend, I'm Brian Hoffman.
And I'm Michelle Hoffman, Chris 6 News.
You're watching Chris 6, part of the Scripps News Group.
Alrighty, welcome back. And tomorrow is the big day. Here it is. The Harbor Bridge opening up, and Andy and I are going to be out there for the special show. So give us the little weather. How are people going to... They're driving with some raindrops on their windshield, or?
I think we're good.
Okay.
I think you guys are going to have a good time. Wear your sunblock, though. Don't forget. It's going to be a hot one for sure. That part, I don't think anybody had a question about. But as far as the rain, we may have some hazy skies as we go on into tomorrow because Saharan dust is on the way. We get the little taste test first, and then next week it'll be back to, again, put a pause to our spotty shower activity. But I think tomorrow, if anything, maybe a quick stray shower. It's just really not looking to be in the cards right now. But again, hot, hot, hot with temperatures in the 90s, feeling about 5 to 10 degrees hotter.
So 80, 87 between there.
Yes.
Is my hair going to poof up?
Well, you know what? Maybe a little hairspray will go a long way.
Yeah, okay, true. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you here back at 6.
Bye.